Hi folks, Kellen here doing some more PHP programming, and I'm doing some benchmarking. I wrote a sort function. I was thinking about the sorting problem, and I wrote this function called SRT so it doesn't conflict with PHP's sort method. Takes an array and returns an array. Initializes an empty array, and then I calculate this slots variable, which is just the maximum of a plus 1. And the whole idea of this sorting function is just create a huge array, and then you'll have a bunch of indexes, right? And when you sort a number, you simply look at that number and then you go direct, and then you put plus 1 in that index. So you're incrementing the index where the number is the index. And so there's a couple for loops here and yada yada yada. But I made sure to test it, and it does sort, and it sorts duplicate. It sorts an array with duplicate values correctly. Now, what was really interesting is I did some benchmarking, right? So I generated a bunch of random numbers and pushed them onto a list. And then I timed how long it took the PHP library function sort, how long it took to sort. And then I compared that to how long it took to sort using my custom function here. And it actually turns out that my own custom function is about 5 or 6 times faster than the library sort function provided by PHP. Now, of course, we have to think about memory constraints, right? My algorithm runs a little faster at the expense of using more memory, because let's imagine, for example, you had a number like 100,000 that was in the list, the unsorted list. Well, my algorithm creates an array all the way up to, with indexes all the way up to 100,000, right? And then a lot of those values in between 0 and 100,000 might not be populated, right? There just might be a lot of gaps where there's just a bunch of zeros for much of the indexes, right? And so it's a waste of memory, you could say. But, there's often that trade-off, and it's clear as day here. If I consume more memory, I can run a little faster sorting. Okay, folks. Just thought this was an interesting exercise. I got sort of curious about how efficient is this sort method that I just came up with. And, well, it turns out to be better than the library sort function in terms of time. In terms of memory, it's definitely not as efficient, so there's a trade-off going on. Anyways, thanks for watching, and goodbye.